Hey everyone, I'm Nick Amp here, and today I'm going to walk you through how I get my cinematic film look in all of my videos. Let's cut to a few clips montage to show you what I mean. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving deep into the world of color grading. Specifically, I'll be showing you how to emulate the look of film using a plugin called FilmConvert Nitrate in Davinci Resolve. What is FilmConvert Nitrate? Simply put, it's a plugin that goes right in Davinci Resolve. You can work with Davinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, and a few other editing softwares. It allows us to emulate the film cinematic look that everybody wants to get, and it offers various amount of film stocks that provide a certain stylistic look to the videos and really takes your videos to a whole new level. And it simplifies the process instead of making you go through a streamlined process of 20 different nodes, and it allows you to do all these different film emulations in one node. But now before we get into the nitty-gritty of how to do all that, how to mimic the film stock look, you may be asking the question, why would I even want to make my videos look like film? Why would I want to ruin my tack sharp video footage that my expensive camera does? I bought this expensive video camera, and now you're telling me I should destroy it, add film grain to it, make it look worse? Well, let me tell you why. Film brings a certain sense of texture and character that digital cameras cannot bring. You ever seen the movie Interstellar, The Batman, Dune? All those are shooting on film stock, or at least converting to film stock, because it brings a certain cinematic look and texture that evokes many emotions, that truly immerses you into the movie, into the film. And if you want to be someone who leaves an impact with your films, I highly recommend trying to emulate the film look. It really will elevate your storytelling skills and take it to a whole new level. I mentioned this before in other videos, but you want to leave the audience with an experience, not just watching a video. They should experience it. Now, with all that being said, let's bring up Davinci Resolve and show you how I use FilmConvert with a few clips. All right, now let's dive into the color grading process of FilmConvert Nitrate. And the first thing we want to do is we want to set up our node tree. So right now we have some highlights, some corrections, a color node, a FilmConvert node, and a halation node. I keep my node tree very simple. So I have 1, 2, 3 different clips. Let's start with this middle clip of tunnel view, okay? Now let's go to the FilmConvert tab right here. Our effects, go all the way down. Let's grab the FilmConvert Nitrate, put it over there. Close that, open that up. Now, the first thing you see is the camera settings right here. Camera settings. You have to choose the camera that you have, that you shot it on. For me, I shot it on a Sony. I shot it on an A7 IV. And I shot it in S-Log3, S-Gamut 3 Cine. So it converts the footage for me to Rec 709, but it also allows me to choose the film stock I want. So we got different Kodaks, the Fujis, all kinds of different ones, Portra 400. So for me, I'm probably going to use the Kodak Vision 3 5213. Right here you have the ability to mess with the exposure, temperature, tint, and I don't mess with this too much because they're just global adjustments, and I'll probably go in to fix them later. Right here you have the film stock as we looked at before. You can choose whatever film stock you want, and you can bring in the strength of the film color and the Cine on the print film. So therefore, if you don't want your effect to be that strong, you can bring them all the way down. But for me, I like to keep them around 80, bring them down just a little bit. Okay, now we have the grain settings right here. Now this is where you add all the film grain. Now 100 is a lot. I don't like to do 100. I might bring it down to around 20, maybe tops 20. I don't want too much. I want there just to be just enough where there's texture. And you can adjust the grain size, make it really big grains, or make it really small, really fine grains. And just personal preference. I like to have mine in the middle, to around 30. You can saturate the grain, make it more colorful, and you can use the image softness to disrupt the footage, make it a little softer, because when it's shot on film back in the old days on a film stock, it's not tack sharp, and that's what gives it that true cinematic color, that true cinematic look. So I'll add a little bit here, and if you see the film size, you can choose the film size if you want. So if you want the 35mm Academy, it does different things. If you want to do Super 35, Super 8, it does all kinds of different things. So I'm just going to stay with Super 35, bring it down, soften it up just a little bit. Now here we go. So we have levels here. And with this, you can move the black point and add more contrast. But for this one, this image is already dark at the bottom, so I won't really want to move the black point. Maybe I might want to move the white point, make it a little bit higher up, add some contrast. I'm probably not going to do too much there. Now we can go down to the overlay params, and you can adjust the gain, the gamma, and the lift right here. I do adjust this a little bit, all right here. You can do all of your minor corrections in the FilmConvert Nitrate tab. And for me, I really like that, so you don't have to make this all crazy node trees and make it really complicated. It really simplifies the process. So if we look down here and we see we have some highlights that are pretty bright, we can bring the gain down just a little bit, see what we got there. Mess with the gamma, see if we can move them up a little bit. Our shadows, they're a little dark right now. Let's see if we can lift it up just a little bit. Okay, so this is what before and after just using the FilmConvert Nitrate plugin. And right here in the grain curve tabs, this allows you to adjust where the grains show up the most. So if I want my green to show up mostly in the shadows, I can add more green right there in the shadows. If I want to add more green, if I want to add more green in the midtones, I can add more green in the midtones. More in the highlights, add more green in the highlights. So for me, this is a very simple plugin, but it gives a really good film emulation look. If you zoom in, you can see this looks very, very cinematic. And that's the goal, right? We want it to look cinematic, we want it to look movie-like, we want it to be emotion evoking. We want to evoke certain emotions. And for me, I'm happy with this. This looks very good just right out of using the plugin. But for some of you, you may not want to stop here. Now let's do some fine tuning. Let's close this tab out. Maybe I want to go in the highlights. Maybe I want to bring down the highlights just a little bit. If you want to go in the corrections, bring it up, bring up the shadow just a little bit. The lift, add a little contrast. Mess with the color just a little bit if I want to change the colors at all. That's really it. I mean, you don't have to do much more than that, but if you want to add halation, that glow effect, because FilmConvert Nitrate doesn't have halation with this current version of 3.38, I'm going to go into halation, and where you go right here, you go to the effects, and you look up for halation. Click it, hover it over, and from right here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the threshold to add a little more glow. Now that's a little strong for me, to be honest. So I'm going to bring on that strength down to 200. And here's the thing. So FilmConvert Nitrate adds grain to your video clips already, okay? And so does halation. So you want to open up that basic grain and take that grain strength all the way down because you already had a grain in the FilmConvert Nitrate clip, okay? And we don't want to double our grain unless you're going for a super grainy footage look, which I'm not. I'm going for a minimal grain look. And secondary glow, you can add a secondary glow and halation, bring that up. And if you look before and after, just a little bit more of a glow, make it look very bloomy. And that's what a lot of film stocks do. When you see in the movies, they look very glowy, bloomy, texturized character. And if we look at this video of Tunnel View, it looks amazing. And we did barely any work. We did we did everything in the FilmConvert, did a little bit in the highlights, a little bit in the corrections, added some halation. But if you look, the main thing was right here in FilmConvert. And now let's get to a live look of how this video clip turned out. And after that, we'll close out our thoughts on FilmConvert Nitrate. So for me, the benefits of FilmConvert Nitrate is that it's also a cheaper plugin than another famous plugin that Davinci Resolve users usually use to get that film emulation look, and it's called Dehancer. So there's a price point difference for the two of them. FilmConvert is $129. Dehancer is $499. So yes, I'll admit, Dehancer has more capabilities, more tools, and you can do a lot more things with Dehancer. But FilmConvert Nitrate is simpler, has a simpler learning curve. So not only is it cheaper, it's simpler to learn, and it's quicker to use. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you shouldn't buy Dehancer, but if that budget, that price point is something that's holding you back, FilmConvert Nitrate's going to do the job very well. And the only thing you might want to add in there is halation outside of it on a different node. But other than that, I can't complain about it. I've been using FilmConvert Nitrate for about the last 6 months, and I've been very happy the way it affects my images, and it makes it look very cinematic, emulates the film stock really well, and it adds a perfect amount of grain that looks realistic, and it takes away that tack sharp look. Color grading post-production is where the magic happens. It's not just about buying a fancy camera, it's about nailing the exposure and then going into post-production, color grading it to tell a story. It's not just about making it look filmic, making it look retro, making it look cinematic. It's about leaving a lasting impact on your audience. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. I hope you took something away from it, learned about FilmConvert Nitrate, why you should emulate film, make it look cinematic, and most importantly, knowing that you need to prioritize your color grading, prioritizing your post-production, because we want to leave lasting impacts with our stories. We want to make an impact. We don't just want to make flashy films. It's about telling a story. And until next time, happy grading, y'all. I'll see you later.